Hello fellow singer, it's Mimi here, and in this tutorial video I will teach you how to do that sweet, soft and quiet sound quality as in the pre-chorus of the song Love You Twice by HUH YUNJIN. I got this tutorial request from Ralph Breaks the Internet, and this is a word they say in the comments. Please, can you teach us how to make light head voice? There's this song called Love You Twice by Yunjin. I can't figure out how she transits from lines mysterious but always in touch to I wonder what you see. Is that light head voice? If yes, then how can I achieve singing that? Any exercises? Please help me out, Mimi. No worries, let's get to work. In this video, you will learn what we need in order to produce this type of sound quality and what are the challenges so that you can take these into consideration as you practice. You will also learn step-by-step simple exercises to condition your voice for this type of sound quality and so that you can reach that high notes without constriction or tiring your voice. In the end, I will also share an easier way for singing this part of the song in case you are a beginner singer and this super high note is a little bit outside of your current vocal range, so that you will be still able to practice this sound quality and enjoy singing this song. And before we get started, just a quick and kind reminder to subscribe to my channel Sing with Mimi to keep improving your singing skills and build up your confidence with your voice as a shy singer. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful, and feel free to share in the comments below how you get on with these exercises. First of all, we're going to need thin fold sound, this quieter tone, and then you can use some of this stiff fold sound as well to create a little bit more hollow sound. I will show you later on where you could use that potentially if you want to. But mainly we are looking at the thin fold sound, the quieter, softer tone. Another setting that we're going to need is our thyroid cartilage tilt. In other words, that little cry. So basically just adding a little bit more cry to sweeten the sound. So we are just looking for this quite emotional sound. Another thing we are looking at, especially in this example, was quite high larynx, which creates this brightness to the voice. So I think the easiest way to find this is just to find a bit of a childlike sound. So speaking with a little bit of a childlike sound can help you to get there. And some other things that will help you to get there and create this sound in a comfortable way is remember to retract your false vocal folds as well. So we are trying to find that openness in the throat, especially when we are going to those high notes. They may want to start to constrict, but we don't want any constriction or uncomfortable feelings or pushing there. So we want to make sure that we find that openness. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can check this video. And another thing that can help you to get there is anchoring. So slightly flaring your nostrils and pulling your head back as if you're smelling something really bad, or you've just heard something really absurd. So you can try to explore. It stabilizes the sound a little bit and is a great way to get to those high notes without pushing. Some challenges that you may face when it comes to this type of sound is pushing too much air out. And as we are on those thin folds, they can't handle a lot of airflow pressure. So your sound will just disappear and only air will come out if you push too much air. Another thing, as I mentioned earlier, is the constriction. So rather than just trying several times in a row, make sure that you find that openness in the throat and that you kind of let go of any unnecessary tension. We do have some muscle activity, but we don't want that tension. So therefore, it's better to do things a little bit more slowly and take your time and have little breaks rather than pushing through. And third thing is tension overall in your body that we're aiming to reduce by moving around as you practice. So trying to find movement, walking around, moving your arms and doing little stretches in between the exercises. So before we start to sing anything, we want to find that sweet, soft, quiet sound by speaking. So let's not overthink this. Just try to produce this quieter, softer tone with your voice wherever it feels the most comfortable. If this doesn't come naturally to you, you can think about speaking to the cutest dog ever. Oh, how cute! And think about how you would find that kind of sweet tone. Or you can think about that childlike sound. Oh no! Oh wow! And trying to speak this way, you can almost like think about a character, and it may feel a little bit strange if this is way outside of your comfort zone. So it might feel silly, but I really want to encourage you to try it out and play with your voice. And as you feel more comfortable and you kind of are able to produce this type of sound, try to do it a little bit higher and work your way higher without any kind of constriction or pressure. So try to produce it in a way that feels easy and comfortable. We can also utilize the lyrics of the song, but avoid singing at this point so that you can really focus on this. Thinking about speaking rather than singing will also help you to control that airflow. Note how little amount of air you actually need to produce this type of sound. So it's tiny amount. So also avoid breathing in too much air as you get started. So if you think about your speaking, you don't prepare it by taking a lot of air in. That will only make it harder. So if I would use the lyrics of the song, I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Do you see her? Would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? All I wish to be is someone deserving of the comfort that you bring. Don't try to force it to be any louder than it actually needs to be. If it feels uncomfortable, reduce the airflow. Take your time to do this part. Walk around as you are doing it. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. And then you can try and go a little bit higher, maybe moving your arms. Does that help you? I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. And maybe trying to add a little bit of that anchoring, flaring your nostrils, pulling your head back slightly, maintain the space in the throat, relax the belly. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. When you get more comfortable with the thin fold sound, you can start adding and play with those sounds a little bit more, adding that cry, that sweetness. I kind of automatically add that to my thin fold sound, but in case you didn't, you can try and add that a little bit more. You can either just think about like sad and crying or whimpering sound. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Or you can think about this really empathetic sound, I guess. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. And you can find that little tilt there and create this sweetness to the sound. Another thing that you can explore is the breathiness. But I would suggest first trying to produce a bit less breathy sound just to make it comfortable. But if you feel comfortable with this sound, you can try to reduce the breathiness or add the breathiness. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. I wonder what you see. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. And seeing what type of sounds you can find out. Some of it might sound weird or difficult or awkward. And some sound might actually sound quite cool. So yeah, go for it and try different sounds. So now we are looking at the melody, but we're gonna forget the first part of the exercise for a little bit. We're going to use semi-occluded vocal tract sound, the NG sound, as in the word sing, to go through the melody. And this sound is great to warm up your voice. The high note is quite high notes, so that we can make sure that you can comfortably get there with this sound first. And it's also a good way to really observe the amount of air that you are pushing out, because this will reveal quite quickly if you are pushing out too much air. So try to find super quiet but bright, and in this case non-breathy sound for this exercise. And let's first try to produce this sound making a little siren within your comfortable vocal range. So this sound is really quiet. Should feel super comfortable. Yeah, should feel super neutral, no scratchiness, tickling, or any kind of pressure. It should feel easy. If it doesn't, try to reduce the outcoming air. Try to make sure that your belly is relaxed. You can try add a little bit of anchoring, but make sure that that will make you to push more air out. And then trying again. Try walking around and producing this sound. First within your comfortable vocal range, and then slowly going higher and seeing how it feels. And when you are comfortable and kind of confident with this sound, let's try to go through the melody. So the highest note is F5, so it's quite a high note. So we're gonna at first slide to that note and then go through the melody. And it would sound like this. So the sound is really quiet. There's really nothing amazing happening, but it should feel super easy and comfortable. Try to go through the melody several times with this sound. And if you struggle going for that high note, and if this happens, so only air comes out, you know that you are pushing too much. You can almost think that you are pulling the air in instead of pushing it out. You are not, but almost like this sensation. This image helps me quite a lot because I'm used to pushing too much air out. I need to be very aware of this. So that note. Try and flare the nostrils, hold on to the space. Movement helps. Might help if you do a little hand gesture here, or otherwise move your arms. Try different things. You can also bring your tongue a little bit forward to make sure that your tongue is not pushing your larynx down. Let's do it together one more time. Amazing. If you can't do the whole phrase without breathing, feel free to breathe whenever you need to. Now we're actually going to sing the notes, but we are not thinking about singing, we are thinking about speaking. So basically the same way than in the exercise 1, but this time we're speaking with the notes of the melody, if this makes any sense. Think speaking, but still sing through the melody. I want you to remind yourself of that sound by just speaking without thinking about the notes. I wonder what you see. Should feel easy and comfortable. You can try that little anchoring, flaring your nostrils, pulling your head back slightly like you're smelling something bad. But make sure that will make you to push more air. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. And then let's try to do that with the melody. So there's that high note that we are aiming for. And after you reach that high note, everything else will be easy for you, I promise. But take your time to practice this octave jump. It's quite challenging. Almost like pulling the air in instead of pushing it out, but obviously you're not pulling the air in, but that's just an image that might help you. It helps me. Think about that feeling of space in your throat and slight anchoring. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Do you see her? Would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? All I wish to be is someone deserving of the comfort that you bring. So you can try that. Don't worry too much about the sound. Just make sure that you can find that comfortable way of producing that sound with that quiet tone. It might feel like it's even too quiet in the beginning, but that's okay. You will find a bit more space there as you get more comfortable with this sound. Don't think too much about singing, just speaking through the notes really lightly. And I want you to do that, walking around and maybe moving your arms slightly so that you don't carry any unnecessary tension. You can try and play with the breathiness a little bit more. And you can try to just add a little bit of breathiness on your thin folds. Yeah. Oh no, oh no. Or you can try, oh wow. Or you can try a little bit more hollow sound, oh wow, to create this kind of like a bit more stiff fold sound, whichever you particularly like. And then try to play with that breathiness, add a little bit more, and then if you feel like, oh, that's too much, you can tone it down a notch, but try different things without worrying about the outcome. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Do you see her? Would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? I feel quite dizzy if I would sing the whole thing that breathy. But if you like that sound, why not? And obviously with some practice you might make it a little bit more comfortable for you, or if you're used to singing with a very breathy sound, it might work out for you quite well. And then you can take the breathiness down. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. And you might also want to play with the breathiness and add it only in some parts. Like in the original song, we have a phrase Do you see her would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? In there, I would add a little bit of breathiness, kind of playing with that breathiness, maybe even that hollow breathy sound. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Would you see her? Would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? So I'm adding that breathiness and that bit of that hollow sound on those little bit higher notes, but then coming back to that more bright and non-breathy sound. So you can try that. Do not worry at all. You will get there eventually. But it is important to understand that this note is really high, and if you are a beginner singer or you're just used to singing a little bit lower, maybe your vocal range is a little bit lower, then it's no surprise that you find this note challenging. I will help you to sing this song an octave lower, which means that you will be able to sing this song and enjoy singing this song and practice this sound quality on this song, even though you can't reach that high note at the moment. For some singers, it might get a little bit too low, but let's see what happens. So the octave lower version would be, I wonder what you see. And if we would try to maintain that light sound quality and try to keep it as bright as possible, it's going to be challenging because the vocal folds want to get thicker as you go lower, and they do get thicker. But we're just trying to keep it as light as possible, and thinking about that childlike sound might help you to find some brightness in there as well. I would add breathiness to keep it really soft. Let's try it. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Do you see her? Would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? All I wish to be is someone deserving of the comfort that you bring. So it's quite a different tone. It loses some of the brightness because it goes quite low. Let's do it one more time and adding a bit more of that breathiness. I wonder what you see when you see someone like me. Do you see her? Would you rather touch marble instead of limestone? All I wish to be is someone deserving of the comfort that you bring. So yeah, you can see how it feels. I really enjoyed making this tutorial. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I hope you found it helpful. I would love to hear how you get on with this song and these exercises, and also if you discovered something new about your voice. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel Sing with Mimi to keep learning more about your amazing voice and build up confidence in your singing. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to give me some more tutorial suggestions on songs or sounds or anything that you may be struggling with your voice. I will see you back here soon. Bye now. Bye bye bye.